I think it really is. I think it really is. All righty, guys. Three, two, one, and we are live with our favorite part of the week. I can't even say favorite part of the week because we do it twice. So we do patients and then provider lives, or patient and well, we do that too. Sorry, that was Freudian. That was this morning too. I crammed all the lives into one day and I'm like, let me see how this feels. You know what it feels like? I feel schizophrenic is really what it feels like. So we're not doing that again.
I don't know
So
which one's my favorite. I like them both. Like this one, I get to talk with a lot more people. The other one, I get to talk with just our people and really focus in.
yeah, I know. That's a good point. So who you hear in the background, my name is Dr. Mo and Neil is in the background. I had some really funny quotes on or comments on Facebook that we should call this the Neil and Mo show, but I don't know if someone's gonna show up to see a hot biker and a shill. So I'm not really
I
because we get some haters here and there.
love
So
haters.
I know, right? The
You know
haters
what?
keep going.
The best part of haters is we actually help one of our haters.
Awesome.
They
Was
come in
that
with
the
a
bar or the other guy?
preconceived bar. I think come in with preconceived notions to talk trash and like, wow, these guys might be able to help me out. They're not just like shills, like Paul said earlier this week.
Oh, that was Paul. Yes, yes. Paul was Paul Schiller. So yeah, so you'll hear me, and when the airplane goes away, you'll hear Neil. He is in the background. If you follow Neil, and Neil will put his name in the comments on TikTok, Neil can come live. So he is currently amassing followers. So what we do at Active Medical Solutions is we help people have success, right, with lifestyle change. A lot of our patients, that's through medication. We also help you work through and have the best success and lack of side effects with medications.
Hi,
So
Linda.
yes, Linda's here. Linda's here. Party can get started. So the big thing is I've been seeing lately is I've been on it for 2 months. How long do I go with this before I quit because it sucks? I'm like, okay, what? Like, why is this a thing? Like, why is this a thing? Neil, I'm putting you on TikTok because so you'll be next to me at least so people know to follow.
Yeah, hopefully I don't disconnect. And if I do, we'll just try again.
But yeah. Yeah, yeah. So all right, I got your microphone muted, so we'll hear you behind. But there's so many posts in the Facebook groups that are, how long do I suffer before I quit? And I'm like, why does your provider not working with you for this? So, okay, now it just says invite Neil to go live as a guest, and you're actually sitting next to me. Authentically, Lori's on. Lori, I have followed you forever.
Technically, Lori.
And hey, I don't know if you, oh, I don't know what the comment was, but so anyhow, what we do here is this is not medical advice. This is not legal advice. It is not financial advice, and sure shit not relationship advice. There, you got other people for that. I can definitely I can definitely get you to resources, not the relationship part. Like I don't know any good ones, but
No, I don't know.
like I got nothing. Just keep showing up. That's all I gotta say. Um, but the legal stuff we can get you to resources and that sort of thing. And yeah, I have glasses on today because I have been on these screens all day long. So my eyes are done already and it's 3 o'clock. So all right. Okie John, 78. I've lost
Wow.
188 pounds on Ozempic. Freaking amazing,
Incredible, buddy.
right? And I bet somewhere in there you had a side effect or two and you managed it, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, I think that was my big takeaway from this week and hanging out in the groups. I got a little snarky. I know, right? Shocked, I'm sure. But I got a little snarky with people because I'm like, are your providers not showing, like, what are they doing? Like, help, help, help. So if you're a healthcare provider out there, come show up and ask us questions. Hey, how do I talk to my patients? How do I manage this? There we go.
There you
Uh,
go.
talk about how to. I did not pay this person to say that. That was amazing.
Well, I think even the groups that like have, I don't want to name any names, like the groups that have nurses like doing it for, you know what I mean? Like they'll contact somebody and then the nurse comes out and teaches them and like whatever. They don't have the same knowledge base and they don't tell them the same stuff we do. Like they're kind of limited on their resources. So they come to me and I help them. And because at the end of the day, I just want to help people. So I don't care
Right.
as
Yeah.
much. You know what I mean? I want to help them. So I'll give them my tips and tricks. And if they can't help them, like I'll try my best or send them us or come to our lives and I'll try to help you.
Right. Yeah, I mean it's not medical advice here, but you could actually take what we say and go back to your provider and say, "Hey, I heard this. What do you think?" That way too, not only do you get the information, your provider gets it and can send it along to other people.
Yeah.
So we help more people, right? We are a huge proponent of a rising tide lifts all boats. The more we help, the more we help. So what are the side effects? Neil, your favorite?
Sulfur burps. No, so the biggest side effects are usually GI related, and a lot of it can be, for a lot of people can be mitigated with just like diet modification, like specific foods you shouldn't be eating because they just bother you, or timing of your foods or amounts of foods. Sometimes, it's just and mean farts. Sometimes you do need some medication management. Some people like are fine on, dose after dose after dose. They finally get up to like, let's say tirzepatide 10 milligrams, and boom, the side effects hit them really strong. So sometimes you do need medications for that. But other than that, it's, a little bit of acid reflux type feeling like your stomach's full, constipation, rarely diarrhea, but it does happen. At least not in our group, it's really rare, but apparently in the studies, it's about even 20% get that side effect. I haven't seen it, not even 2% for us. Just one time.
Could I have it for like a day? Maybe that'd be nice. Like,
yeah, but you have the diarrhea when you switch to the back of your arm, like,
right. But I'm never doing it again.
Those are the big ones. What else is out there?
There, Linda said headaches from dehydration. That's a big one.
Same thing. Manage, with electrolyte drinks and hydration. And then a lot of times, it's not on purpose. People are just not eating, so they're not drinking fluid along with their meal, so they dehydrated.
So yeah, I've been really lax on my hydration lately because I went to 7.5, and I'm actually on Axtel this week. I switched from Link to Axtel. Just I don't know, because that's what I do. I make sure that, things are still good with our people. And oh no. We are not relationship advice, Broderick. We can't help you there. So for later on the YouTube, Broderick said, my wife has threatened to put me out of the bed because of the mean farts. So we're like, hey, that's relationship advice. No, just kidding.
Well, that could be anything from simple, like, are you just on a really high protein diet and then you're getting like protein farts, possibly, or is it something else? Like, is it cabbage or broccoli that's sitting in you, kind of fermenting and really causing that? So some of that same thing might be able to be changed or modified with like diet, or when you're eating it, like, you just don't eat red meat at dinner, you eat it at lunch, and then you don't have those protein fart, like the beef farts all night.
Nobody needs cow farts.
No. And yes, leany, tired. Some people are just really fatigued when they first start doing it. One, it's like electrolyte drinks usually help a little bit with that. Sometimes it's just, adding a little bit of carbohydrates in. Like, I'm really fatigued. Like, have a couple apple slices, handful of grapes or 3 grapes, and get a little bit of carbs in there and make you feel a little bit better.
Yeah, it's super hard for me to eat this week. Even like crap food, because usually if you guys hear me, I can overeat the drug. We can all overeat the drug, right? I'm not a special snowflake. When I eat sugar, I can overeat the drug. And I've even had a bit of sweets this week because it's my kid's birthday, which is why we're on Wednesday. By the way, sorry about that, but sorry, but not sorry, because my kid turned 11 and I'm not going to miss that.
Hey, Jackson's here. What's up, buddy?
Oh, hey, Jackson. We're talking about farts. Right. Welcome. We are, for real. So, but anyhow, it is tough for me to eat this week, and even hydration, like, it's just been a problem, because the 7.5 has been effective, and I've been on the 7.5 for 3 weeks now. I think this is my 4th week on 7.5. And, my brain is fantastically quiet, but I think it's just a little bit too much appetite suppression. Like, I'm not getting the hydration in because I just don't want the volume. So, I mean, coffee has potassium, so there's that. That's a plus. Yeah, no, I agree with Jackson with the missing. If you miss a dose, we gotta, we can escalate you quickly because we do it like on an individual. Oh, that's a tough question. Yeah, on an individual basis, when we manage our patients restarting, it really depends on what your dose, the side effects you had in the beginning, but we don't start people higher if you've been off or you've been switching to us. We can't get proof of your prior dose. Thanks for the follow, guys.
Yeah, give Neil a follow too. I'm at 474, so I'm super close to you being able to at least hear me directly on the TikTok.
I can't pin comments today, so Stacy has a fantastic question. Does it make you want to not eat at all?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yes. If you're, well, if you're not hydrated, it makes that feeling worse. If your dose is too high or you just went up, sometimes it's really tough. Oh, thank you, Gorman.
Yeah.
Awesome job. Thank you. Um, Sometimes, yes, but that is not the goal, right? And you see this in the groups, and I'm sure it's
Yeah.
on Reddit a ton as well. Like, I can't eat at all. I don't feel like ever eating. Well, okay, I don't feel like going to work some days either, but you do it anyway. And you don't have to eat 1,800 calories. Don't stuff yourself.
And sometimes it's just like you don't have an appetite, or like you're like, oh, I feel like I have like, I ate like last week and it's still there. Sometimes, or you have this really bad indigestion. Sometimes just a little bit of food kind of cures that. Like you don't need to throw like antacids at it, whatever. I mean, they help, but it's like a little bit of food will help that appetite. It's like, okay, thank God. Just a little bit of food. Like I can feel like I can eat a little bit more, but you get full really quick, but it's not the full feeling is very different from the acid reflux. It's on fire in there feeling, and then the food sometimes will help that.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to add, because like Jackson said, manufacturer recommend if you miss more than one dose, restart the lowest dose. Depends, like you said, on what dose you're at. If you're at like 15 and you miss 2 weeks, I'd probably start a little lower with compounded. We don't make you start all the way down low. I typically will tell you kind of half your dose, see where you're at. And if if you don't have any side effects, like three days, you can take the other half and you're good to go. Or same thing, compounded. Take half, like take you're at 15, take 5 this week, 10 next week, back up to 15. Like you can escalate usually pretty quickly if you're uncompounded.
So, this lipedema question,
Yeah.
what can I do to get GLP meds? So a lot of doctors will go on, oh yeah, the aversion. Yeah, that's a good one. I wish I could pin these comments. Damn it. Okay, Neil, keep me focused.
Yeah.
The lipedema, the lipid, keep me focused. That was like, okay, here's your Herculean impossible task. Enjoy. The lipedema can be reduced by losing, but that's a different kind of thing. GLP-1s don't do as well with lipedema as other places on your body. That being said, if your doctor is not willing to prescribe, you can talk to a different provider, right? If you're in our states, you can come to our states. You can go to Jackson at Pomegranate, or Nikki Baldwin or Maribel Telehealth. Those are the people we send people we trust, right? Because oh yes, thank you. Oh yeah. Thanks for, can I tap my own? Oh God, no. I tap my screen and then all of a sudden things go weird.
Yeah. I try not to touch it either.
I'm like, that's why we can't have nice things. I did something the other day with the company, and because we're having all, Dr. Laura Galdamez is now our medical director, and she is very systematically minded, right? And you guys hear me on these lives, so how I'm visionary. She's integrator, right? We are very different personalities, and she's going through and nitpicking all the process and doing all this stuff, and I'm like, wow, this is great. And I did something the other day. I was like, this is why we can't have nice things. I'm just not going to touch it. So, I'm going to answer the telehealth one first. Is telehealth appointments covered by insurance or out-of-pocket payment? Totally depends who you go to.
Mhm.
You can find someone on ZocDoc that's like going to a telemedicine doctor's appointment with somebody who takes insurance, or you can go to someone like Active Medical Solutions, that's us, who we do not take insurance, but you can use your HSA or FSA card. But if your medication is covered by insurance, that's the thing. If you're on compounded medication, that's not usually a thing. So, it really sort of depends.
Yeah. And depending, like, GLP-1 meds and BMI, if your doctor won't write them, we're not as strict, and it kind of depends on what your goals are and where your mind's at. Sometimes it's not like, your BMI is 27 or 26 and you're like, I got there on my own. I just constantly can't think about food. I can't stop eating and I keep, fluctuate up and down. That's where the meds come in handy, and not even at 27. Like we have patients that are lower and that we've started them. And we have patients that are higher. But if you have like a 29 and you have comorbidities and your doctor won't write you, like it might just be he just doesn't like the medicines. I mean, I know some insurances are requiring like a 35 plus or like a 32
40.
plus comorbidities now. Like they just are not wanting to provide them.
Right.
So maybe they're on that boat as well. But yeah, you're one of our states. Come talk to us. We don't charge you to talk to us.
So Stacy said, do I have to force myself to eat? No, I definitely get hungry at least once a day.
Yeah.
Um, but I can really tell when I'm on a dose that for me, it's a combination. I can't hit my trigger situations. I can't hit my trigger foods. And if I'm on 7.5, not hitting trigger foods and trigger situations, I'm comfortable. I don't, but then again, I don't have the drive to drink fluids either. So it's a little bit different. So it's habits, right? And that's what we discuss a ton in AMS is we talk about habits because you have to habit stack and we all have good habits, right? Well, I don't feel like brushing my teeth this morning, but I brushed my teeth because I kind of always feel like brushing my teeth, but you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just what I do in the morning. My athletic greens taste disgusting. I'm still doing it every day because I feel better on it. My skin looks a ton better. I'm hoping Bloom does the same thing. It's cheaper.
So Flags is saying doc gave me metformin. Will it help? So metformin is, you get a like 4 or 5 pound weight loss. It's not anything astronomical for most people. It will help some people's A1C. It does help with appetite control. I think it's worth a shot. I think we've had more success with weight loss and metformin when adding it to a GLP-1 than actually just metformin by itself. I do have patients on it just for maintenance. They're doing very well on it. So if your doctor won't write you anything else, I mean, I think it's worth a shot. But a BMI at like 25.8, and you want to lose weight, get to a healthy range, kind of control things. And I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah. Agreed. Like somebody who said this, J Ray said, I lost 120 on my own, now on compound. I wish I had found it sooner. Yeah, one of our patients said a long time ago, it makes the impossible merely difficult. Like we still have to do the work, but I'm able to do the work. I just actually finished my presentation for my national talk in a couple weeks. And it was
Right back.
see ya. Neil stepped away for a moment. We need to hold music on here. So anyhow, but I just finished sending over the presentation and I actually talked about that in there that, some of us have normal numbers, but we still need medical help. And the habits we work on there's no difference if you're on a GLP-1 or not. These are habits for building health, right? GLP-1s are just one tool in the arsenal. But for me personally, and a lot of people out there with food noise and just the whole situation, and when I say the whole situation, that's me assuming you've met me before. If you're just coming in, I'm Dr. Mo. Neil took a step away. Oh, Neil's back.
There I am.
Were you eating?
I did. My sugar's dropping. I had a protein shake a little while ago and I didn't have anything else.
Uh-huh.
Whey protein gets me sometimes.
Here we go. So I was just talking about how the work we do is lifestyle medicine. We don't just pump out GLP-1s, like Jackson's on here from Pomegranate. We've talked about this before, that you do the nutrition, we do the sleep, we talk about our pillars, and we do this with our patients as well. We have a patient specific meeting that's a really safe space. We keep this a safe space, and TikTok works to keep it a safe space as well, by slamming me sometimes. So I'm really going to try to not get fired on my first day today. So, while you're chewing, Neil, let me do this. So I'm going to do this again. We are from Active Medical Solutions. I'm Dr. Mo. Neil is my NP. And Neil you can see his little face on the TikTok. So go follow Neil, please, so you can see him actually interact on TikTok. And we run a lifestyle medicine practice called Active Medical Solutions. We are remote only. One of our patients thought because we were in Texas that we couldn't treat her. She was in Florida. But we are in 11 states. If you want to come see us, check out our states, amstelehealth.com. And like Neil said earlier, there's no charge to talk to us and see if we're a good fit. So somebody asked, Ally weight loss pills will help you lose weight. Not sustainably in the studies. It would have gone a lot farther if, no, I'm just gonna, no, the answer is no.
Yeah, if you it'll get the weight off, it'll help you not absorb fat if you have that meal, but then you're going to end up all in the bathroom a lot. No one wants that. At least with a little bit of constipation, a little bit of diarrhea.
Ruining car seats, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, so that's the thing. It's not like with this, at least it's constipation or oh, I have diarrhea, I have to go. Ally is I stopped at home on the way home. I stopped at McDonald's, ate in the car, and I pooped myself before I got home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
a whole different set of side effects.
Yeah.
And now, in the obesity medicine community, there are some docs who will prescribe Ally for those people who are super constipated
Yeah.
with the GLP-1s to actually help them to augment that. But that's a real specific concern. I don't, I think I think the GLP-1s help absorption so much that I just feel really reluctant to do something like that. Well, I feel very reluctant, which means we don't do it.
I would, I haven't had that in my back pocket for a long time and I haven't had to use it, you know, because most of the time all the other methods we use get things going. And that's one of those ones I have to go, but it's not like a once a week, I'm going to take an Ally and eat a high fat, like with a tablespoon of olive oil and go. That's not, because I know if I put that out there, that's what starts happening, you know, and when it should be just more of a manage it every day, try to get your fiber, make sure you stay hydrated, use your Miralax as needed.
Agreed. My glasses are bugging me, but my vision's terrible today. So somebody said they were super nauseated on 1 milligram of semaglutide. It's kind of probably how I feel on 7.5, which is tirzepatide this week, because I'm doing really well with the habits and that in combo. You don't need as much drug, at least for me. I'm also at maintenance, so it's different. And then Angel said I'm just went up to 5 milligrams tirzepatide, was in the ER with horrible stomach pain and nausea, much better today. This is anecdotal, of course, not medical advice, but we have a patient who ended up in the ER 3 times. She's a nurse. So we know this, right? We know it causes pancreatitis. So we get worried that, you've got this severe abdominal pain. And a couple things. She was only eating protein, lean protein and vegetables. So very high fiber diet. And somebody had asked about getting fiber. I think, why am I thinking Gordon? It wasn't Gordon.
I think he had mentioned some fiber.
Gorman. It was Gorman. There we go. I'm like, Gordon. Anyhow, little bare naked ladies reference for those of you who are of the age. So the fiber in the beginning especially can get really rough, excuse the pun, unintended. It hurts your stomach to try to digest. So, and Neil's a huge proponent of this, and he'll be the one to tell you, what did you eat before you got that stomach pain? How much did you eat? And could it be just going up early? I went up to 5 too early and oh my God, I thought I was going to die. Like literally thought I was going to die. I remember standing at the deck on the pool in our condo thinking, I cannot stand up. I'm going to die. And so fixing my hair literally on camera because it's bugging me. So anyhow, it's a really nuanced thing. We do not raise people based on protocols like, oh, you've been here for 4 weeks. Let's go up. We do not do that because for this very reason.
Yeah. And then, same thing. If you're really struggling to get fiber in, I would use a supplement. Like Metamucil gummies like you like, I would, Benefy, is it Benefiber?
Benefiber?
The clear one? Yeah, mix it in like whatever.
Benefiber is pretty good because it mixes clear. Yeah, 5 milligrams did not play. No, the first time I went up to 5, I was like, shit, I'm gonna die. But then when I went up to 5 when I was ready, it was like, oh, this is what I need. And now I'm at 7.5. Hopefully I will be back down to 5. Like seriously, I'm so incredibly nauseous currently. And I can eat just fine. It's just this, if you deal with the side effects. So that's somebody had asked, what are the side effects? And Neil talked about the GI stuff. Sometimes it's just this feeling of ick. That I know it's like this week I should have taken 5, but shoot, I didn't know it. You don't know it till after.
Yeah.
So next week I'll do 5 and see. Yeah, went to 5 too early. And you'll see when you're ready, you'll know. But that's the thing. Like if you have a provider who's just kind of bringing you up and like running you through the doses, number one, where do you have to go? Like we have people who are 15 who need higher and we can't do it, So, all right, I got to put the glasses back on. They're bugging me, but I can't see.
Let's see here. Brenda's been on 2.5 for years and now insurance won't give it to her due to BMI improved. Needs compound now. Come see us.
Yeah.
No, amstelehealth.com. We are all about maintenance. A lot of docs will just stop writing it. When you get your weight, nope, you're there. Thanks.
Right.
Which makes no sense.
It makes no sense. This is lifestyle and medical management. This is weight management. This is not weight loss. This is not fen. This is not what we're doing. We are doing management. Look at my banana trees, by the way. I keep looking, aren't they like super happy, rained all day? Look at those happy banana trees. Sorry. Those of you on TikTok can't see the banana trees. There they are. Okay, now you can see the banana trees.
This is the Gorman. I got it from a med spa. They handed me a dosage sheet and sent me on my way. A lot of places do that. Even one of the pharmacies we were going to use wanted us to follow their protocols.
Their protocols? I'm like,
oh, the patients
no.
aren't ready. Why am I increasing their dose? So I can charge them more? That doesn't make any sense. They don't need it. Number
Right.
one. Two, it's going to cause side effects and they're going to quit. And then they lose the benefit of the medication. That sucks for them. And then they never tried again.
J Ray, I'm the same. That slight nausea feeling, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a good week. Like I got this. And then I'm like, oh, we went a little too far.
Brenda, yes, we can ship to Ohio. We are licensed in Ohio. I went to school at University of Akron. Grew up in Cleveland area. And Dr. Mo went to Toledo, some kind of medical college.
I was going to say, when I started, it was the Medical College of Ohio. When I finished, it was the Medical University of Ohio. And now it's the University of Toledo College of Medicine. So I went to medical school in Toledo. That's the easiest way to put it. Oh, Medina. I worked at Medina forever. Yeah, I worked at Medina High School for a little bit. Yeah, I used to binge driving and stopping at Burger King on the way home from there. Just saying. Not that, oh, yeah. Well, that's another lifetime ago. Thank God. Shit. Those were like really bad bingey days. And I wasn't overweight then either. But again, so that goes to show you, right? I was 135 pounds pounding fast food and I didn't throw up either. I wanted to be my bulimic friend, so I would throw up, but it tells you how sick my brain is. That was a rough go, But anyhow, it's just that when I think of Medina, I remember driving back because I lived in Elyria. So I remember driving back to Elyria. Yeah. Oh, actually, then I lived in Strongsville. I lied. I lived in Strongsville by the Mad Cactus then. I missed the Mad Cactus. It's gone now. What a bummer. Okay, sorry, I digress.
Now I want some Mr. Hero. I don't know if you ever ate Mr. Hero, their subs.
Oh I didn't. I wasn't a Mr. Hero. We had enough good subs in Buffalo. I didn't need to. Oh, Lord.
Let me hear Shira. She's like, I feel bad when I eat an unhealthy meal or eat sweets. You shouldn't. Like, you still have to live and be normal.
No. I think she means she feels bad, like pukey bad.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If that's the case, then yeah. That's a little punishment. But otherwise, mentally, you shouldn't feel bad. Like, you still want to live and you can eat those things and enjoy those things. And
you might pay for it, but
you pay for it.
Had to play the insurance game. Yeah. That's tough. Okay. So yeah, Brenda, so I forget that we have to read this for the YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm struggling with feeling hungry again. Currently Ozempic 2 milligrams, was previously on Mounjaro 15.
Did you ever have any relief with Ozempic at any time? I mean, I've seen in some people it's more the cravings, and Ozempic doesn't help everybody with those cravings like Mounjaro does. So it might just, it might be, because we have compounded tirzepatide and semaglutide. This template tirzepatide might just be the better drug for you.
Yeah.
It's either that or adding things. Like a lot of times, like, we're max dose, we can't do anything. We've tried like our pillars, making sure you're getting your protein, you're sleeping, you're drinking fluids. And we add like metformin or naltrexone. Ozempic for the rheumatoid arthritis. Fantastic. Nice. That helps that.
Metformin is the same. Well, they're dumb. Sorry. Somebody just said insurance isn't covering Mounjaro because metformin's the same. Yep. It begins with the same letter. That's about it.
I mean, they're both used for diabetes.
Maybe, right? You, congratulations that you're pregnant. Don't stress too much. Can't change anything. Okay. So you just can't be on it pregnant. We'll see you in 9 months. 10 months, technically. They totally round down to 9. Let's be serious. I saw a picture of me the day before I gave birth. I had Greg take it because I was in a bikini. And I showed Matthew, and do you know what he said? I binged a lot when I was pregnant, as an aside, which I know that's also fearful. Like, I get it. Matthew said, are you sure I don't have a long lost twin somewhere?
Wow. Where's the other one? Where's my brother?
I said, that's not the first time I was asked that, Matthew. No, I was just fat. Thanks.
You had a big head. That's all your head, buddy.
Right? It's your big brain in there. It's your big brain. God bless. Out of mouth, Gabe's, man.
So she was asking why for so we don't know what these medications do to pregnant people. Yeah. And we don't test on pregnant women. It's pretty unethical, and we don't know what the long-term consequences are. Like short-term, so far we haven't seen anything, people being born, but I don't know, what is your kid's mental capacity going to be when he's 9?
How much you want to bet better?
Maybe better, or
I'm very
he
hopeful,
doesn't
but it
have the
doesn't matter. You
medicine.
still can't be on it.
Is he going to have difficulty gaining weight? Is he going to have appetite problems? Like we have
Like,
no
yeah,
clue
we
what the
don't know. Is it
long-term
going to
complications are
dysregulate
of
things?
this. So
What if
we
it
just,
downregulates his own production of GLP-1? We don't know.
no clue. It's not, how about this? You can have the baby breastfeed beyond in like a year and a half. I don't think there's a reason to risk it when you can come back on the medicine later on.
Nope, not at all. 100% nope. Leslie said, I'm craving some fast food. Today was injection day. Make it through today, because Terzepatide Tuesday for me is like, wow, I want nothing. So that's my hope. That's my hope for you.
All right. So Shuby's like, I know people that have stayed on it throughout pregnancy and everyone is fine. So
What?
far, maybe now, but we don't know long term, number one. Number two, the whole point is you're trying to grow a child, and when you're in a caloric deficit, you're probably not doing your best. It's the complete opposite of what you should be doing. I can't tell you what to do,
Not medical advice.
but I'm like dumbfounded. Yeah, that people are even stayed on it throughout there. Like
Why would people do that?
you can get right back on it when you're done and lose the baby weight if you want.
Yeah. Not medical advice. This is not medical advice, but this is you, like Neil said, you are trying to grow myelin sheaths in that baby's brain. You want that baby's heart. You want this baby's heart valves to close and form the way they're supposed to. You want their hormonal systems to be the way. We don't know at all what this does. So you need to give that baby everything it needs. Now, does that mean you forego all healthy habits and say, screw it? No, you use any medications that are safe in pregnancy for sure. This is not one of them. It really, and you do need to at least be at maintenance, right? Because if you're overweight, you've got a surplus, right? So you can use the surplus, so you can stay in maintenance calorically, work with a lifestyle medicine practitioner or obesity medicine doctor. To do that, work on the habits, work on our pillars. When we talk about pillars, we have 5 pillars that we harp on with our patients. That doesn't change for pregnancy. My God, I wish I would have done these things in pregnancy. I just didn't.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's really impossible with the hormonal shifts. You know what I mean? It
It was
makes it
hard.
very, very difficult.
It was hard. I wish I would have, and I tried, but again, I tried the diet mentality. I didn't try the lifestyle and the therapy and the OA. And I didn't, I thought I could find the perfect diet and just do it. Well, if I could have just done it, I would have done it 30 years before, anyhow.
Yeah. So last thing we should do, isn't it the same as someone who is a diabetic? Well, no, because if a patient was mine as a diabetic and I had him on, let's say, Mounjaro as a type 2 diabetic, I would take them off the Mounjaro, put them on metformin and insulin as needed. We'd basically choose medications that are safe in pregnancy. We would switch them. Just like if we were on an antidepressant, we would probably switch to something that has no known teratogenic effects to the mother or come off. Sometimes the benefit outweighs the risk. So you have to stay on the medications. If the mother's going to go fly off the rails and schizophrenic, you have to stay on the medications because then they both don't make it. So that's that. But if you are a type 1 diabetic, you're on insulin anyway, and you're not technically should not be on a GLP-1 medication like we are prescribing them. So not quite the same.
Yeah. And you can go to amspublicgroup.com and hang out there for resources and content and ask us questions. Lena's our moderator over there, and I don't even know if Lena's on here today. Probably not. She had a pet death in the family last night. So, yeah. So, but Lena's our moderator over there, and she'll get questions. She'll text me with questions and make sure that I get them. And you can tag any one of us. We'll get there. It's not immediate like this, but go to amspublicgroup.com. It's a public Facebook group, not medical advice, of course, blah, 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 but you can stay there for community education. Even if you're not our patient, it's free, but it's a place to go where people understand. I even said, I'll say this real quick, because I'm going to have to go off for a colonoscopy soon. I have my, the appointment to establish care with a doctor that I know, which is ridiculous, on Monday. But I told my husband yesterday, I'm terrified. I've got to go off for 2 weeks. And I said, I am going to have to totally stay away from my trigger foods, my trigger situations, and I have to not undereat because my disease also makes me undereat. So I've got this, my brain's real messy. So I've got to work with that. And so much like yourself being pregnant, it's a little terrifying because you finally find this thing that works and then, oh my God, I got to go off. So I need all the emotional and educational support I can get. And I'm not growing a child, and I'm just going to be off for 2 weeks, but I'm literally like getting my ducks in a row because I'm afraid.
Corman's asking, he doesn't know if it's a placebo effect, but it seems on shot day, appetite is immediately suppressed again within a few hours. So if you're on semaglutide, absolutely, that works so fast. Like when I took my first dose of semaglutide and within like the hour, I was like, hold on, I'm not hungry. Like this is really, really weird, to the point where we tell patients, like, if you're like taking it, like don't eat a big meal and take your shot because it could potentially make you really sick because you have that big stomach full of food, because it works pretty quick.
Mine was the same with tirzepatide.
Yeah.
Like within a couple hours, I was like, what the hell's going on?
I'm wondering if it just takes longer for that GIP to really kick in. And the GLP-1 is actually working.
The GLP-1's what you get, and then the GIP is like, whoa.
Yeah. I'll work in a couple of days, but
now, okay, Diana, I'm gonna address this comment going, because this is a tough call, like much like my kid said. I just totally threw my kid under the bus. Love the kid, but and he also will say when he looks at pictures of me that when I was overweight, he's like, but that's not you. I'm like, oh, God bless you. So, but Diana said that weight gain should be the least of your concerns. That's a tough call because obesity in pregnancy is a risk factor for a lot of things in the baby, right? So, oh my God, underweight, overweight, you're going to screw the kid over. Sorry, here I am, like, but I get this because either underweight or overweight mothers, you put the child at risk for obesity and underweight. And it's not directly correlated, which is crazy. So it's tough. And of course, because, we have the fat shaming thing and all that goodness, that it's hard for OBs to actually address, hey, you're gaining too much weight. Now, that being said, my husband did tell me my first trimester, he said, I'm worried you're going to get gestational diabetes. You're gaining so much weight. Because I was binging like nobody's business. And I said, I'm worried you're going to die in your sleep. Don't piss off a pregnant female. Just saying. Didn't mean it. Love the man. Trust me on that. We're celebrating 25 years of marriage this year.
That's awesome.
Okay. So anyway, that's my not medical advice OB thing. Join Fridays is here too. We got pomegranate. We got Join Friday. If Myra comes on, we're good. Then we got the crew, right?
Has she been on before?
She hasn't.
Okay, I was about to say, I'm like, I don't remember seeing emoji.
Oh, I would love if she was on here because I would love to talk to her because I've never met her personally, but I have a mad respect for what she's done. Oh, my mosquito coil is dying. Okay, no, it's not. We got this.
I'm making sure we didn't miss anything.
Yeah. Stay with us. You got this,
Jay Ray is asking, can you talk about site oversaturation?
Don't know what that means.
I know we were talking about at the time, like pregnancy, and I think we were just talking about pregnancy at that time and using these types of medications, but yeah, I'm not sure what that means either.
Give us some more information on your question because we have the dog look. Tirzepatide Tuesday. Yeah, we went out because my kid's birthday was yesterday, so we went to Red Robin as usual. Mac and cheese and oranges for 11 years, and well, probably about 9 because you can't eat mac and cheese at a year old. Well, I guess you can, but I guess he probably could. Yeah, there you go, with his hands all over. But I got my usual cheeseburger, right? I had one bite and I was like, okay. I ate about a third of it. What happens if you move up in dosage too quickly? Oh, where was it? Who said earlier? Yeah, like some people, nothing. My dad has never had a side effect. He literally dials in his dose down a half a pound. Oh, he's probably on here too because he told me he was going to watch live. He asked me yesterday when it was. So hi, Dad. He literally moves up and down based on, I lost a half a pound this week, or I haven't lost any weight for 3 weeks. I think we should move up, or I think I'm going to go down, or because he's a data guy. So, he just has no side effects. Some people never have an issue. And he's been up to as far as 10 milligrams. And by the way, he is knocking at the door on 170s.
Wow.
He hasn't been in the 170s since he was 30 something years old. He is 71, I think. Roughly.
If he gets to 170, he'll be light enough that he can fly on my magic carpet. Aladdin will take him for a ride on the magic carpet.
Nice.
Yes, yes, Dad, I heard.
My, my dad said Neil looks like a lad. One of our haters, well, not haters, whatever, said Neil looks like a hot biker.
I think it's hilarious. I don't care.
Oh, well, that's okay. Paul thinks I'm a shill, so that's all right. See, and these people, they're haters, right? But they're forever remembered.
Jay Ray, so I switch sides of the lower belly. I don't use other sites. Is this okay if it's working for me? Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, sometimes people will switch a site and they'll like use back of the arm or the top of the thigh, and then all of a sudden, like it's either not effective for them or they have more side effects. So if this is working for you, I probably wouldn't change anything. If you want to experiment, there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, if it's working, I'm not switching it.
Yeah, same. I
Yeah.
tried to switch once just because I'm the kind of person where, hey, it's working. Let's do something different. That's why I don't run my company anymore. Um, I'll do this part, but I'm really not allowed to touch anything else. Chocolate milk. You are our people, okay? You are the people. I've been on it for a year and only lost 50 pounds. Let's pause. Pause for a moment and, grieve for those 50 pounds because they're gone and they're not coming back. Zepbound 10 milligrams, only 1 month, 2 pounds down. So we have people who are slow responders and slow losers. You are 50 pounds lighter. I don't know how far you got to go, but consider for a moment that we're never going off these medications. I'm not saying you're one of those people. I'm not going off. Well, first of all, after all the new scientific developments, I don't want to go off. I'll be honest. I want to stay on this forever, and I will maneuver my finances such that it works. So you gotta stay with us. You gotta do the journey, right? You're going to be fighting something. What do you want to fight? Fight the battle for your health.
Not only that, it's been a year. That's basically a pound a week consistently for an entire year. There's really nothing else that's going to do that. Like there's no diet program other than you want to, if you've been hungry every day for the last 52 weeks and miserable and 10 milligrams, you're down 2 pounds. It's might be time to go up. Like it just might not be your dose anymore. Your body's adapted a little bit. Probably time to increase the dose or look at other things like, looking at, are you getting enough protein in, are you sleeping well? Did your stress go up? Is that, this the last month been super stressful, can't find the dose, which is what's going on a lot right now, so all that cortisol makes it just, you couldn't lose weight this month. And sometimes there's a stall, which is completely
And
normal.
how often are you weighing yourself? If you're looking at like month to month or like, cause my couple of my OA friends really, not my one sponsor told me only weigh myself once a month. That would drive me nuts because I have no idea what's happening in between. I weigh myself every day and then I look at the graph later if I need to. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like right now, because I'm like, I can't lose the weight. Dumbass, you're down 2 pounds in like 3 weeks. But then I can go back and look at the data and actually tell myself, hey, listen, you got this. You're doing fine. So, but yeah, I totally agree with insurance. Oh yeah, we'll go chocolate milk. We're going to go through, we'll go through our pillars for you. But what was that? Hold on. I'm so frustrated with insurance. So the comment was, I'm frustrated with insurance because I need this for life. Yeah, we all are. But again, that's what Neil was just talking about. That stress, right? You're going to stress yourself out over things we can't control.
The worst part is they don't give a shit. Insurance doesn't care. They're going to figure out any way they can so they don't have to cover this for you.
Yep.
And it sucks.
Yep.
You paid thousands of dollars month after month for years and years and years, didn't use it. And all of a sudden, like, hey, I have something that's going to make me healthy, make me live longer. Nah, try metformin.
Right. Yeah. Let's try the $5 one. Thanks.
Yeah. Or walk more, eat less.
Eat less, move more.
God.
I know, right? So yeah, and they don't care. And I actually read a really good article today on LinkedIn that was sent to me by Nikki Baldwin, who, if you want to go find Nikki, it's hamiltontelehealth.com. You wonder why I throw these names out? Because not everyone, we're not in all states. We want to make sure people get care by people that we trust. That's it. So, but it was about the middleman. And that's really what I think is things have gotten so many layers and so complex that this article is so good. It was about the insurance companies blame the doctors and the doctors blame the administration and the insurance companies and everyone's blaming everyone instead of just, and what we do is we're like, all right, let's see this little box right here. Let's shut out the noise. Let's get the shit done.
Right. Which is what we can do with
Yeah.
compounded. We just like, okay, screw you guys. We're going to do this until we get you, or at least till we get your PA fixed, or we figure something else out while we get your insurance to cover for it. Like, there's no sense waiting around forever for your insurance to cover it or not. Let's just move forward.
You know what? And if you need ideas, This just came to me. This is how my brain works. Dear Lord, if you need ideas on how to like, I don't have the money for it. All right, let's dig in. Come to our patient lives and say, this is what I do for a living. Can you give me some ideas on how to make more money? We'll do that. We'll dive in with our patients. No, it's not financial advice. It's not legal advice, but we need it. Like, this is lifestyle, right? We are lifestyle medicine. We need to help you get the things that you need help with. Anyhow, I know. Soapbox, I'm off. Like right now, script. Just kidding, Neil. Maybe I'll schedule that.
All right, let's see here. So let's just hit the pillars since, we're about halfway through or so. All right, so our pillars at AMS, first one being, and you kind of mentioned it, not getting enough protein, chocolate milk. For women, we typically aim for around 100 grams of protein. For men, it's around 150 grams of protein. Basically,
Where did you get those numbers, Neil?
We're just guessing. We're just random. No, it's based on 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body mass. So for most women, it's going to be around 100 grams. For most men, 150. It's probably a little bit more for some people and a little less for some people. It's a starting point. So some people, I think, Dr. Mo, you're at like 120 or so some days, try to.
Yeah,
I aim for a little more than that. I aim for like, at least one, like I aim for like at least 1.2 to 1.5 a day per pound. So
20 would be where I really need to be, if I want to do like true muscle preservation and actually use my workouts to their fullest. I would go 120 to 150.
Yeah. And I think I was reading something by our friend Alan Aragon. God, I wish he'd join. That'd be cool. And I want to say it was like almost up to like,
next week, probably.
Oh, that's awesome. Almost up to like 1.6. I can't remember the numbers because someone else was kind of talking about his stuff and he kind of chimed in a little bit. But you can go much higher. So having said that,
by the way,
I'm sorry.
You subscribe to his newsletter, by the way?
I don't know. I think I do.
He just came out with I don't. And I was thinking about it and I forgot till you mentioned his name. We're talking about Alan Aragon, who is like the protein king. I'm sure he'd love that moniker. But anyhow, he did an article on the science of GLP-1s by, I can't remember who. You got to look on Instagram. I didn't read it yet though, but it's all the science of it, which is why I didn't read it because my brain is pretty cluttered as it is. So anyhow, okay, keep going. Sorry.
I don't know if you'll like his so his theory on GLP-1s is to get on them, get your weight, and get off.
Yeah, well, that's my husband's theory. It used to be my husband's theory as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure as he learns stuff, he'll change. He actually adapts to new information. So I'm not worried about Ellen at all. And he's not worried about me. But
I'm glad we have his approval. No,
so having said that, all right, let's go back to the pillars. So try for 100 grams of protein. Most regular old Americans are getting like, for women, it's like 30 to 50. Like it's way low. It's not enough to preserve that muscle when you're in a calorie deficit. Protein will do a couple of things for us. First thing it's going to do, there's a potential for hair loss anytime you're on a calorie deficit. It's going to help us keep our hair. That's one of the things that we can do. It'll also help us keep our muscle.
Not helping you.
It's not helping me. I did not eat enough protein, obviously. So it'll help us keep our muscle in addition to, strength training. So we aim for that 100. The 100 does a couple of things when you eat it. If you start the day with 30 grams of protein or more, it actually helps you eat in a calorie deficit for the day by about 300 to 400 calories. Just because you're fuller longer and you get fuller faster. Getting to that 100 grams will help with appetite control all day. Being on a GLP-1 and getting to about 100 grams as a woman, you probably, if you have good appetite control already or decent appetite control, you're probably not going to be able to eat other things. And then you don't have to worry about calculating your whole macros for the day. How many calories I eat? It doesn't matter because you probably didn't eat enough to begin with and you're in a calorie deficit because you ate all that protein and you just don't have the room. So that's where I would go first. Next, sleep. Sleep is super important. 7 good hours of sleep. That's usually a tough one for a lot of people, but very important. Next is going to be stress, which we've talked about. High stress increases cortisol, making it just about impossible to lose weight. Your body says, nope, we're holding on to it because we're in a stressful event. It's life or death. It doesn't know. So it's just trying to preserve itself at that point. So managing stress, which is usually probably the hardest one. And then there's hydration. Staying hydrated will help with all your processes, keep you hydrated, make you feel better, help with like skin paresthesias if you're drinking electrolytes. Headaches, energy levels. It's very, very important, and kidney health. And the last one for us is movement. It's not this, eat less, move more. It's the movement for health in general. one, you're going to burn calories from moving. Two, it's good for your heart. And the whole reason most people are doing this is they want to be healthier. They want to be there for the grandkids, be able to have fun with their kids. They want to be able to go to the water park, go up the stairs on a water slide and go down, so that's why it's important. Any kind of exercise is great. I like strength training because, same thing. You're in a calorie deficit. You're going to lose muscle. We got to keep that muscle. So when we get to the end, we're not what we call skinny fat, like no muscle, a little bit of fat still, and no strength. I think I hit them all.
You did. That was fantastic. Thank you. I got my LaCroix while you were talking. That was perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do, Brenda asked high-end dose, how much does it run a month? And then Sierra said, any tips on targeting the midsection? I'm losing more inches in my arms and legs in the midsection. I'm going to do that. The midsection will come last because that is your body's way of preserving, well, if you're a female, fertility, yay. Which is good. Don't get me wrong. But it thanks for keeping the fat there. But that will come last. And that
It
it's
depends.
just,
Everybody's
well,
different. Some people, they might hold it on their thighs forever or the back of their arms forever. They're like totally skinny. Like, sometimes you'll see guys like they're so skinny everywhere and they just got to be belly. For them, that's the last thing that's coming off. So everybody's a little different. If you were, look at your parents, look at your mom or your grandma. If that's where it's at, that's probably where it's coming off last.
Because cortisol, you get the cortisol midsection. So don't stress too much about your diet, right? You want to try to move in that direction, but you don't want to be fanatical about it. And that being said, some people cannot eat certain foods, right? And if you know me, you know that I'm active in 12 steps. So I ideally have a plan of eating. I do, but I have got to stay away from my triggers. Am I perfect? Nope, not at all. I get this. I step up to the bar quite often. Not really anymore, but getting better. So, but even stressing over diet. Now, if you are an obsessor over diet, that is called orthorexia, and that's another thing, right? And this can help that. This can actually help relieve that stress. So again, if you're in a super stressful situation, you got to watch the cortisol midsection. So Brenda, how much is a high-end dose a month? It depends on your state. For us, 15 milligrams can run you as little as a 15 milligram dose. So that would be 60 milligrams a month of tirzepatide. We can be as little on our pharmacies as 440 a month. Nope. Yeah, I think that's
That's lowest.
Lowest is 440. Okay. And that does not include, for AMS, it does not include the medical care. We separate all of ours out because that's how we do it.
Let's see. What was the other one? Oh, Jay Ray saying the money I'm saved on eating out groceries pays for my compound, which Linda says over on YouTube said the same thing. Yeah, I had a buddy who was saving $60 to $80 a week on food when I had him on Monjuro, which more than would have paid for his compound at the moderate dose, for most doses.
So the question is, why did he stop?
He's been, I think he's just too busy in school. He's in med school.
I know.
Yeah. I wish he would have kept going.
What's busy about it?
I don't know. On off, we've talked several times and we tried again and then
I've got lots of people. I got a physician friend who really needs it, super stressed out, really needs it, just needs the help. And again, and there's a speaker that I listen to, this program isn't for somebody who wants it. It's not for somebody who needs it. It's for somebody who's going to do it.
And maybe he's just not ready, like he's just not ready to make that big commitment. He does a lot of other stuff, he still does meal prep and all kinds of other stuff. It's just, I don't know, once a week shot. It was super simple.
Yeah. And I mean, that's kind of the beauty of it.
But when you're ready, you're ready. Like same thing with coming off. Like when you're ready, you're ready. If you're not ready, might not go well.
So Lisa said on 2.5, lost 80 pounds, now at maintenance and wondering what to do. And that's what Neil's talking about. Some people are going to come off. Because a lot of that is the stigma, like you said about, what you said about Alan. I'm hoping he's there in a couple of weeks. Because I'm giving a talk on GLP-1s and I'm not giving a talk on the science. I don't care about the science. Now I do talk about the science, but not like the mechanism. It's not what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with the social and emotional practical implications of being on it, because I've got a unique perspective. I'm a physician, I'm a nutritionist, I'm an athlete, and I'm a patient. And, so I'm a unicorn. So, It's what you do at maintenance is it depends. If you have a lot of food noise, you may stay on it forever. You may stay at the same dose forever. You may have to go up. It's management. This is chronic weight management. So it really depends on how you want it to go. I'm in a
Yeah,
maintenance
I
phase
mean,
here.
if you want to come off, for me, I would have my patients typically, if you're done losing weight and you're having good appetite control, start to space that dose out, to about 10 days. You're still like, I don't need this. I have no, I'm maintaining, I'm feeling good. You can try coming off it because you can always go back on,
True that.
or same thing. Some people just go, stretch the dose out to 10 days and they're taking it, once every 10 days and they're doing fine because they're just not ready. 6 months, you might be ready. 3 months might be ready whenever you're ready.
Here's an interesting
That's
thing. What if you don't have food noise, right? You're on tirzepatide, you don't have food noise, but you want the cardiovascular benefits. Would you switch somebody to semaglutide because it's cheaper and just do a low dose semaglutide?
if their insurance wasn't covering it. Yeah, I'd probably choose the cheaper medication that works for them.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
assuming insurance doesn't cover.
Yeah. And then same thing, we switch to semaglutide. It doesn't have this like, okay, now I'm hungry all the time. Go right back to tirzepatide, low dose, 2.5 milligrams, get things under control and just stay there.
Oh, I'm touching my phone. It's doing
Let's
weird
see.
thing.
Tracy Bot is 14 pounds lost in almost 6 weeks. Ocan tirzepatide. That's over 2 pounds a week. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'd be super happy, How do you feel? That's the other thing. A lot of times people feel great. They're like, and you can't see Tracy. I'm sure you've seen people. You're on TikTok with us. You've seen people on TikTok, especially in the beginning of Monduro, like I lost 38 pounds my first month. That's not normal. Most people don't have those numbers. A lot of people have that 1 to 2 pounds a week. That's pretty common. And I'm super happy there. And honestly, anything in the right direction is great. 3 pounds in the first month, fantastic.
All right.
Let's see. Amy, where'd you go? Where'd it go? Oh, I'm
Which
stuck on a stall for about 4 weeks. Any tips? I'm walking a mile to 2 miles a day. Now, stall for us, kind of can mean a lot of things. Like, are you just not losing weight? Are you not losing inches? Do you have no appetite control? Because that kind of tells us a little bit more. Like, if you have no appetite control and you're not losing weight, it's probably because you need either like a higher dose to get a little bit more suppression of that appetite to kind of get moving. And then, yes, you're walking. I love it. I love any exercise, strength training. You got to keep your muscle.
Yep. And I did not do that. The first 6 months I was on this medication, I did not do strength training, mostly because it was a very stressful time with my job, and jobs. And I got out of the habit, right? And I don't do a ton now. I do 15 minutes a day of some sort of strength and mobility every day. Just about every day. I mean, I miss a day here and there, but very like not rare. Like it's just what I do now. It's part of what I do. So there's that. So Britsky, did you see hers? How long do GLP-1 agonists stay in the body? Do these synthetic hormones stay in the body and brain receptors? So these drugs, I'll go tirzepatide because it's a little shorter half-life, but they have a half-life of 5 days. Tirzepatide has a half-life of 5 days. Your endogenous GLP-1 that's produced has a half-life of seconds to minutes. So it's the same hormone. Now, does it change your receptors and down regulating and up regulating? I don't think it does that permanently because if it did, we would never have a problem again, which would be kind of cool, I guess. But then we wouldn't have the cardiovascular benefits either. I don't know.
MJ1219. So tirzepatide is better if you have food noise than semaglutide. For most people, yes. Now, I've had patients on semaglutide absolutely crush their cravings. Like they have none. And theoretically, it doesn't have the GIP, so it shouldn't. But absolutely, in the studies, it's overall better. Dr. Mo hasn't tried semaglutide. Otherwise, we'd be able to ask her if it helps her food noise. Hey, that might be the time.
I can't.
Okay.
Right now.
In 2 weeks, you know what I mean? When you take your 2 weeks
Well,
off.
yeah, when I have to for the colonoscopy, yeah.
And me, even I use semaglutide, and yes, I still like thought about foods. I didn't eat them, or if I did, I ate like a bite of them and I was done.
I don't know. Maybe I'll try.
Yeah. Over on the YouTube, LL Poindexter Holmes. Are there any studies on how this helps with people who suffer from PCOS? I don't think there's a specific study yet. Anecdotally, with other patients, it has been incredible for PCOS patients to the point where I've had patients that have lost all their weight, and we're taking like 1.25, so like half of a normal dose, like every 7 to 10 days, and it was completely relieving their PCOS symptoms. It was incredible. So I don't think anybody who's had PCOS has been on this has said, no, it hasn't helped my symptoms yet. So I can't, I look forward to that study. I'm,
Right.
Gines are going to got overwhelmed with people wanting to get on these then. Just for that. Let's see. Dog's going crazy.
I know, like, what was that? That was the dog.
Ronnie's Magical Life. Started strength training this morning. Fantastic. Cut out protein bars and carefully watching my cows to see stall breaks.
Make
So
sure you're replacing the protein bars with something.
Yep.
That's
And I guess some of the protein bars have a lot of extra additives. Some of them have higher fat, so they taste better because they taste like protein and it's gross.
apple.
Apple. So yeah, just make sure you're getting enough protein. That's okay with the protein bars. Eventually you get tired of them anyway. So
yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I just can't.
Except my Fit Crunch. That's the only one I can still eat.
I know. I ate a built bar the other day that tastes like a marshmallow.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. It tastes like a chocolate covered marshmallow.
See, here's Brenda. Brenda didn't notice the difference between food noise between semaglutide and tirzepatide.
Nice. Then go cheap, man. Go cheap. Well, hold on a second though, because Brenda, hold on. But
Brenda's
Brenda,
the one, she'd get better on tirzepatide.
better on tirzepatide because you said cravings.
Yeah.
So is that right, Brenda? You said your cravings are crappy, but your food noise is gone. I don't know how to separate the two. Oh yeah, unless he said way in the beginning. Oh yeah, I addressed that with the tirzepatide Tuesday. Yeah, never mind. But Brenda, yeah. So tell me the difference between cravings and food noise for you.
She was feeling hungry on Ozempic 2 compared to MJ12. So it might just be that it's just overall stronger.
Appetite. It's true appetite then. Not the food noise, but it's just the appetite. Okay, I'll go with it.
And then J Ray, yeah, all PCOS symptoms are gone within a couple of weeks of starting. Love it.
Yes. Yes. Oh, Brenda, back to having food noise now after being on over a year. Yeah, I had to go up. Now I had to go up for a couple of reasons, like stress. I had Cadbury mini eggs, stress, Christmas, Cadbury mini eggs, and stress. It's, it's like the trifecta for me. So, and Christmas and my birthday come at the same time. So, it was a lot of crap going on. And I gained like 8 pounds and I couldn't. So, okay, I'm thinking about this, right? So my weight went up. Well, that's more fat stored hormones, right? That's a more feedback loop. That's going to screw me up. I didn't think about that till just now. So thank you guys for helping me out. Thanks for the coaching. Much appreciated.
I think we're actually pretty caught up. So let me bring this up. So I think last week we got asked, and we've asked this up a couple of times about like potassium and sodium. Like, how much should I take? How much should I take? And, they're all a little bit different. No matter which one you look at, they're different. I can't find a definitive answer on this. It is anywhere between, for like the higher levels, around 500 milligrams of potassium and sodium per drink. Some it's a 1-to-1 ratio between the two. Some it's like almost up to 2.2 to 1. So like, 500 milligrams of sodium to 250 of potassium. They're all a little different, and I can't find anything. The only thing I really can find is they still are on that, even though it's wrong. Like anything over 2.5 grams of sodium is too much. Which in an athlete who could theoretically, they could lose anywhere between 500 milligrams and 2,000 milligrams of salt per hour while exercising. 2.5 grams just doesn't cut it. It just, the data, this information is just not there.
No, and it's not. And when for an athlete, and that's where like this talk at the ISSN is the International Society of Sports Nutrition, this talk that I'm giving. And that's one of the things. And I know I'm going to try to keep my talk short for questions because I anticipate questions like, well, what about salt in these patients? Because my sodium utilization during exercise totally changed. And I power through more salt. Even normally I take a gram of salt an hour and a half or full Ironman. That's a hot one, right? A gram of salt an hour, and I am not fast. I am Baymax. I am not fast. So, I mean, I'm talking 8 grams of salt throughout this day. And that's for half, by the way. I got to carry friggin' salt like with me for a full, which I'm not doing for the foreseeable future. I have decided.
No,
We are working on, we're going to work on math instead. I'm going to devote the time at home to fam. Yeah, I just made that decision,
no regretting there though. That's fine.
right? That was my thought. You know what? Why do I need an 8th Ironman under my belt? Like, what? And part of me is like, because it's easier to do that and avoid some of the big stuff. So, yeah, whatever. Not relationship advice.
And the best part of all the research I did is even though it, like the studies say, salt has nothing to do with most blood pressures and affecting them, they still say, no, don't have too much salt because it'll mess with your blood pressure. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Not supported at all in studies.
I'm like, okay, never mind.
But 8 is an even number. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I hear you. I got all kinds of reasons why I would want to do it.
There's future. Come on. I mean, I don't know if they have them on TV anymore, but I remember watching them when I was younger on TV, and you see guys in their 80s finishing these things.
Yep. Absolutely. That's why I figure, you know what? We're going to, and that's why I say it in the foreseeable future, because right now, in the next year, 2 years, I don't see that happening. But there will come a time that I'm sure I'm going to be like, let's do it.
Or he could get into them, and then that's what you guys spend your time doing, and then it's even more quality time.
Oh, imagine if my kid turns 18 and says, I want to do an Ironman. Hell yeah, I'm doing his first Ironman with him.
Yeah.
God willing,
But you know what I mean? And then you can do the next 20 with him.
Oh, Jesus.
But you know, like,
dude,
a couple days of math is worth that.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Usually 3068 is 6 pounds in a week. First week, did my 4th shot this past Monday, and scale hasn't budged. Normal? Yes.
Yeah,
so sometimes that first week you'll have, some of it's going to be fat, of course, but a lot of it's going to be water because you're decreasing how much you're actually eating. You're not eating as many carbohydrates. Each gram of carbohydrates pulls 3 grams of water with it. So, when you're losing that, you're losing some water weight at first. If you're not really moving much at the end of the month, it could be a couple of different things. It's not your dose, especially if you have no appetite control. If you're hungry again, it's time to go up, more than likely. And then if you were here for our pillars, making sure you're getting that protein in, sleep, rest, movement. But probably, off the top of my head, more higher dose.
Yeah. I was shaking my head on MJ's comment because we'll hit it. We'll hit it.
My insurance is ending coverage for all weight loss men's 8-1. Can you talk about your program? They are really, really don't want to pay for these things. Nope. I wish I could be in on one of these meetings. Like, what are they saying?
Oh, sure. These are expensive. We can't afford it. It'll tank your program, I bet.
I think it's more than that.
I mean, the thing.
F these people. We're not giving them meds. They're lazy. They should just eat less and move more.
Neil, I need to not get fired from TikTok.
Well, I was polite about it, but that's what they're saying.
Oh, but you're gonna get me all fired up, and I'm gonna and then I'm gonna get kicked off of TikTok.
You take a deep breath, and I'll address her question. Count to 10. All right. So, MJ, our program, we are at amstelehealth.com. You can go there, click become a patient. And if you're in one of our states, we would love to help you out. If not, you can even message us there and we can, tell you where else to go, like for people that we trust. So our program, we don't have a specific criteria. Like if your BMI is 27.5, we're not going to say heck no, without comorbidities. It's more about weight management than it is just purely weight loss. I mean, we do weight loss, but there's more to it than that. That a lot of other people just don't understand. Your primary care doc just wants your weight. He's there for weight loss and doesn't really consider all the other stuff. A lot of them. So we are $89 a month. We can prescribe regular medications. So if you still want to try to get a dose or two from your regular old pharmacy, let's do it. If not, we have compounded. We have multiple pharmacies in lots of different states. So the price does vary. Semaglutide starts at about $150 depending on the state, and $200 for tirzepatide depending on the state, to kind of get you started. We are a purely asynchronous telehealth medicine. We do one video visit a year with our patients in person live. Otherwise, everything else is done via texting. So you can text us day or night. If you're a night shifter and you're up at 3 a.m, have a question, you can message us. We're all shift workers. We might be on.
Or Miami. Just kidding.
You're in Miami. Okay, great. I'm never living that down. You're Mississippi, Michigan, Minnesota, Minneapolis. No, Michigan. Yes, we're there. Come see us. AMStelehealth.com.
Went to grad school in Kalamazoo. Feel
Yeah.
free
So that's where we are. And a lot of times, like, we'll get you started pretty quick. You click that become a patient button, fill out the paperwork. My staff will make a chart. Depending on if they're still working on that section today, it might be tomorrow. We contact you, get your stuff ordered. Depending on the pharmacy, I think link goes there. You might have your beds in like 2 days.
I know,
So
but
yes, we are in Florida, Sierra. I'm licensed in Florida, Michigan, New York,
Miami.
and Miami,
One Neil was
Ohio,
reading,
Tennessee,
Neil was
Virginia.
reading off the states at one time, and he said Miami instead of Michigan, and he is never ever going to live that time. We could do Miami of Ohio. We could do
Yeah.
Miami of Florida. We're at both. We got this. But yes, our states are at amstelehealth.com.
Oh man. Okay. That's exactly what they said. Cost too much, MD. Yeah, they just don't want to pay for them until they come down in price. And then there is liraglutide going generic, and unless they are stockpiling that somewhere, I anticipate that being out of stock very, very quickly once it becomes available, which will suck for a lot of people, unfortunately, because they'll get their first month and that's that. All right. Jay Ray, one of my goals is to do a weightlifting competition. Don't care what I place, just want to try it. Do it. Doesn't matter. Any of those things. So I follow a lot of bodybuilding stuff. That's where my passion has been most of my life. And I follow a lot of bodybuilders on like Instagram. And every once in a while they'll post somebody who they think doesn't belong on stage, But at the end of the day, no one knows their story. Did this person, lose 270 pounds to get on stage? So this is the best shape of their life and people are making fun of them. I'm not going to get just kicked off TikTok, but F them. You do you got on stage. If that was your goal, to get on stage and feel comfortable getting on stage or feel comfortable putting on your leotard and going and lifting, who cares what anybody else thinks?
You know what? I actually heard a call today on my business call, or heard a comment, and I had actually asked Dan Martell about this last week because I'm like, I feel I'm afraid my family won't understand me or my friends won't understand me. And he said, they're not going to, they're not going to get it. You have got to be willing to be misunderstood. The more you are misunderstood, the better you're doing, because you're changing circles, right? And like my AMS people who are coming with me, you can't, they're coming with me, and they're going with me, and they're gonna, it's hard because it's just hard, and we get it, and we're growing, and we're willing to listen to our patients and grow.
So Gorman, we are not in Kentucky, unfortunately, right now.
Maribel is, I think, and so is Nikki.
All right. So Maribel Campos.
MaribelTelehealth.com.
Maribel, okay. And then another one's Harris Telehealth.
HamiltonTelehealth.com.
I'm never going to remember them. I keep forgetting every week you say them, I still can't remember them in 4 minutes.
All good.
Ronnie's Magical Life. So our fees are $89 a month for our medical care, along with our patient lives, all our education, unlimited texting with us.
And don't forget urgent care concerns.
And urgent care stuff
included.
Yeah. So all of us are pretty much emergency medicine trained. So if we can take care of it via telemedicine for you when you're a patient, we absolutely will. Save you a trip for UTI, strep throat, COVID, whatever. We can do a lot of stuff via telemedicine. Regarding the dose pricing for 7.5 milligrams, that would be 30 milligrams for the month. Our cheapest right now is $330 from Axtel. And depending on, I can't remember what state you're in, but
hold on. Oh, we added a new one though. Hold on. Hollandale's not up there yet.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's around about 330, 350, depending on, because like Link, they're all similar at that one. Link,
Okay.
Axtel, even Empower's like 380, but you get an extra like 4 milligrams, weirdly. But whatever. Here's your 34 milligrams. What are we gonna do with that?
We are in Arizona.
Yes, we are.
Neil is our Arizona connection.
Courtney.
Well, no, but you're not.
Yeah, I spent some time out in Arizona.
Neil is the emotional. So we usually grab states that we are emotionally connected to.
I loved Arizona. I mean, I was in the middle of nowhere. It was fantastic in Casa Grande, but flat mountains, that's all you saw, and beautiful blue sky every day.
I don't like Arizona. I get nosebleeds, and I'm a Florida gal, So why do you live in Texas, you ask? Better schools, better pay with medicine, better place to practice medicine.
All right, so MJ, so for five and so we talked about 7.5. Five would be like 20 milligrams. Let me see who we got for 20 milligrams. Like 270 for Link. It kind of depends on what you want it mixed with. Some of them mix it with B12, some mix it with B6, some use L-carnitine, and some use NAD plus. I can't, it's Link that can mix it with whatever we want with B12 or carnitine, correct? I believe.
I'm just slacking Nico to ask him why Hollandale's not up there.
Come on, Nico.
I'm being nice about it. I'm just wondering.
See. Yeah, and MJ, the difference between adding those things in, I would say nothing. You know, I would not, unless you have a problem like you can't take B12 because you have took too much in your life and have an overabundance and have paresthesias from it. There is really no difference. B12 is supposed to give you energy. You're taking a very small amount. B6 is supposed to be for nausea. The L-carnitine is supposed to help mobilize fat stores, and the NAD is kind of longevity. And so I would choose it based on price, unless there's another reason you can't choose it. Other than that, that's how I would choose it. Or like, I hate the way that pharmacy sounds, or I heard bad things about them. Don't use them.
Yeah.
And weirdly, we have had patients use one pharmacy and another patient use another pharmacy. They both hate it. They switch and they each say like, this is the strongest pharmacy ever. While the other one said it was the weakest one ever. Not uncommon.
Yeah, it's crazy.
To the point where I've had patients switch from Monjaro brand name to Zepbound brand name. All they did was change the label, ugly label on the pen, and they said it didn't work as well or it worked better. So
Got a ton in the groups on Facebook.
yeah,
I
so
can't
just find what you like, and if you like it, use it.
stick with it. Yep. Sorry, that was funny about my Arizona comments. I'm all for the additives if they will help. Yeah, in a B12, if you're looking for a B12 thing, you know, we'll monitor those levels. And you can do from Amazon if you want to add that in. Cheap. Now that being said,
Yep.
some
Yeah,
people
we also have LipoFit, LipoSlim, whatever the company calls it. You know, they're all very, very similar. MIC B12. So it's a combination of amino acids that some people absolutely love them. It gives them a ton of energy. They feel great on them. Other people like take them. They're like, I thought this was giving me energy. So either it's a love it or hate it, or love it or feel nothing. It's not really a hate it, other than having to give yourself a shot.
And I'm not willing. I'm not even willing to switch to semaglutide, let alone.
I get it. If it's not broken, don't fix it.
No, I'm just really nervous. You know, I don't know. Like you said, I mean, this is the first time in 40 years, 40 plus years, I'm being conservative with that estimate, that I have calm in my head. So I know, right? I'm like, yeah. So, I mean, my brain's calm. I don't want to give that up, you know? I just don't. So we'll see. I'm actually hoping that after I go off for a couple weeks for the colonoscopy, that I have a better result on the 2.5 or 5, and that I don't have to use a 7.5, save a little bit of money from that standpoint.
Yeah.
Now we also don't know, are the benefits better at the higher doses, right? So, you know, again, like I'm talking cardiovascular, metabolic repair sort of thing. You know, we don't know. We don't know because we never had these kind of results before. So, looking for energy, 2.5 has me zonked for 3 days after my shot. Work on your hydration first. Hydration with electrolytes, not just free water. Yeah, when we say free water, we don't mean the free stuff at the water fountain. We mean hydrate water with electrolytes in it. Is free water is plain water.
When thanks for liking live and following the host. Give Neil a follow too. I'm on there. I'm at 480, getting close. You guys see and hear me there. Everybody give me a follow. I'll address the hydration too. So some people will ask, like, what hydration drink? Anyone that you will drink that you enjoy and will actually get down, whether it's Liquid IV, Gatorade Zero, is it Mortal Nutrition, Body Armor Light? It does not matter. Whichever one you like. Go to the store, grab a couple of different hydration drinks, see which ones you like, and stick with it. That's fine too. Liquid IV for some people just tastes like drinking seawater. It's super salty. Other people don't mind it. When I use it, I'll just dilute it down a little bit more. And then some of my other ones, like I'll use Body Armor Light or Prime Hydration, and they're very low sodium. I add salt to mine. Some Celtic sea salt. Gotta get it in there.
Okay, we didn't talk about my cruciferous vegetables. We did. We skirted the cruciferous word. BCAA powder has amino acids, helps hydrate and gives energy. Make sure with those amino acids, though, it comes with some potassium and some sodium. If it doesn't, you can put in Morton light salt, which will add some potassium and sodium in there. Those are the two big ones you want in there. The magnesium, of course, helps too, but if you're one of the constipated types, you're going to be taking probably some magnesium supplements. I don't take magnesium for constipation. I take it for nerve funkiness. So yeah. Moving to
MJ's.
five. Okay.
Okay. Moving
Yes.
to 5, hope for better results, has not, still have lots of food noise and no suppression at 2.5 after 4 weeks. Yeah, I'd say it's time to move up.
It's not
And
at your dose.
5 might not be your dose either. It might be. Everybody's a little different. Like some people, 2.5, like, 2.5, 5 milligrams, they've spent 2 years on those levels and doing great. Never had to go up higher. Some people need to get up to higher doses. Some people don't feel a whole lot till 7.5. I have a lady who lost like 160 pounds and never went over 10.
Yep.
She halved herself.
That's fantastic. Did you see the heart?
Yeah. Join my team.
Love it. Love it. I love it. Yes, Texas Beard's back. I haven't seen you in forever. How are you doing? Yeah, 60 plus pounds. Yes, Sheena, thank you.
Danny Bobo. I do electrolyte pouches for normal size water bottles in my 40 ounce. I do the same thing for a lot of them. I dilute them. Even my Prime, like my Prime hydration, it is very delicious. I still dilute mine down, and it's because it's almost too sweet for me. I pretty much, even the packets, I'll turn into 2 bottles instead of 1.
My kid likes the Moon whatever flavor Prime.
Yeah, the white one.
Yeah, which is fantastic because we finally found him something that he'll drink hydration wise because he doesn't like we're real picky around these parts.
Oh, let me throw this out there for everybody. So if you follow Vitamin Shop, I think it's Vitamin Shop on TikTok, every week they'll post if they have like a drink special for the week.
Oh.
Sometimes it's energy drinks, sometimes it's Prime hydration for $1. And a lot of times when they're Prime, some of the other ones it's $1, you can only get 6. Prime typically is unlimited. So I'll typically go buy like 4 or 5 cases of the flavors I want.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we do that when we go to Sam's Club when they have
Yeah.
the Body Armor Light. I mean, I don't really like the flavors so much because that blueberry pomegranate one's in there. It's not my fave. But really I don't give a shit because it's cheap.
You gotta watch HEB. They'll do them for $1 every once in a while.
I gotta pay attention. I need an alert on that or something. Like if it's like an automatic alert, like if it does, I need a flag. Is there software automation for that somewhere, Dan? SAS Academy, Dan?
But we need to do something on school. We
Jesus.
just do it on school, like post, boom, $1.
We totally should.
Publix has them for this, whatever it is, whoever we're using.
I know.
We
right?
do have an awful lot of Florida people.
I know. We don't have so yeah, we don't have any like sponsorships or affiliates or we're not sponsored by anybody. When we give you a brand or when we give you a provider, like sending you to Join Mochi or Pomegranate, if we send you to someone, we don't get a kickback. That's illegal. Also, we don't own a pharmacy, which is not illegal, but you have to give people a choice. What else?
No, the stuff we recommend or talk about is stuff we either used and find helpful or effective. Because you can hop on Amazon right now and look up protein. Like, does it taste good? Is it nasty? Like, are the reviews real or not? Like, so sometimes it helps if someone else is like, if you like similar things already, like, hey, you'll probably like this too.
Or like one of our patients cannot tolerate Core Power Elites, the 42s. So, oh yeah, here we go. Oh, Sunshine and Disney. I love the name. You are my people. Okay. Sorry, sidetracked. Squirrel. My hydration and diet's good. I had a sleeve surgery 3 years ago, plateaued for over a year. You're gonna be real sad, probably, because if we would have had these 3 years ago. I know. I think we're gonna have yeah. You'll do fine. You'll do great.
Bariatric surgeons need to start looking elsewhere for what their next career choices.
Now, but I do think in some cases where I think they really need to focus, because, everyone's asking my opinion, not really, but where I do think that bariatric surgeons need to focus is in the critical care patient where like they're morbidly obese patients and they're going for like open heart surgery. They've got an LVAD, things like that. Like when they're going to get that LVAD placement, do the sleeve at the same time. You're going to save people's lives. Shit like that. What the hell is that freaking bug? Sorry. It's Texas.
Now we're getting flagged.
Oh, Yeah, I
I'm
know,
kidding.
right?
I don't know.
I don't know. Weird stuff. It's weird stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh
It's
my God.
Texas. I mean, it could be worse. It could be Australia, but
Orange wasp I have ever seen.
oof.
And you know they're jerks, right? And I
Yep.
got stuck the other day. Okay, now I'm terrified. Hold on.
I'll
I'm like,
take over if you have to run. That's cool.
I'm just watching where it's going. But I can't. It was raining all morning, and I've been inside for all of my calls today. So I'm like, oh. As soon as it got sunny, I'm like, we're going outside. Okay, I think
No,
he's
no,
over.
they'll still have their place. Bariatric surgeons, I don't think are going anywhere. The
No.
abundance of them, I think, maybe they're better off moving to like obesity medicine.
Well, that's what I would love if
And that's an option for them, right?
comprehensive, kind of like what we do. We don't just do
Yeah.
fat loss drugs. We're not just,
Yeah.
doling those out. We're working on lifestyle management, right? I want to help people, period. But I want to help people enrich their lives. This isn't just about like when I talk about, this is how much money our patients have saved. This is stuff I want to talk about. I don't know. I'm gonna get off my soapbox. We'll just be quiet and keep answering questions.
All right, let's Kelly. Do some people just not respond well to compound, or is it the same as pharmaceutical grade? So technically, it's the same active ingredient as pharmaceutical grade. Is it the same? No, because they mix it with something different. So it's technically a different medication, like the B12, B6, and AD plus. That's kind of get around a little bit copyright stuff because technically you add two medicines together, it's a new medicine. So there's that. Some people just don't respond differently to the compounds than others. Like some will get theirs from like, let's say Empower Pharmacy and like this is like water. This is nothing. They switch to Axtel and they're like, oh my God, this is too strong. What did you give me? And then the same person will be on Axtel and like, I hate this. This is like nothing. And they switch to Empower and they're saying the same thing. This is way too strong. They both can't, one of them didn't get water. So it's just,
Right.
I think how it absorbs in the person with how they manufacture it can be different. It could also be just kind of where they're placing it.
Agreed. And Ronnie's Magical Life said, do you think compound works better or is stronger than brand? It really depends. I think it depends a lot too on our stress levels. If you're female, if it's where it is in your cycle. Stress level, cycle, intake, hydration, all the pillars, all that stuff. Like for me this week, 7.5 is kicking my tail. Like I'm like, wow, I should have done 5. Really should have done 5. But again, you don't know it until you do it. But do I feel like when I went up to 5 early and thought I was going to die? No, I'm just a little green, that little green nausea face, kind of, sort of. But am I taking Zofran? No, because like Jay Ray said, that's sort of my indicator that the drug is working. Yes, I overshot the mark a little bit.
Yes.
I'm hoping by the time I leave tomorrow to get a 3-hour drive in the car, I feel a little bit better. Oh, the MIC injections. Ronnie's Magical Life asked, what's your opinion on MIC injections while taking a GLP-1?
I have no problem with it. Like I said earlier, I think some patients absolutely love them. They are so energized by them. They can't live without them. Like they can't wait. Like as soon as they're running low, like I need more. And they really feel like energy and feel good on them. If that is you, absolutely, let's do it. I don't think there's any harm in like if you're not sure, trying it for a vial. And if it does good for you, great. If it doesn't, finish it up and don't use it again. There's unfortunately no way to tell. I mean, I've had people who take massive amounts of like oral or sublingual B12. They're like, I don't feel it, but the shots are amazing for them. Yeah. So is it just how their body metabolizes when it's in shot form and utilizes it? Maybe, even though theoretically it shouldn't matter.
Right.
Just like giving yourself a shot in the abdomen or the back of the arm should not really matter with how it is absorbed in the subcutaneous tissue, but it does.
Dakota, and hey, I haven't seen you in a long time. Last 2 weeks had me thinking 7.5 may be too much. Mind you, I'd already been on it a month. I agree 100%. Now, the thing is too, if you've already been on 7.5 a month, because like I said, I'm going into like week 4 or something. That 7.5 has allowed me to change my diet a ton. So I'm not overeating. I'm not hitting my triggers on a daily basis. That sort of thing. So that 7.5 has allowed me to change. I don't know if I need 7.5 at this point. So I'm going to try to change it up next week and go back down, and see, well, especially because I'm meeting with what's his name on my GI doc on Monday. I should probably, no, I'm like, I should probably hold off on that Monday. Cause what if he wants to, but I'm going out of town and I'm not doing a colonoscopy before this talk. So, okay, there we go. I'm like, nope. I do not react well to anesthesia as a general rule. So now I also don't know, what if that's different on a GLP-1? What if I don't get the nausea and stuff? Like, you know what I mean? Like, cause
Yeah.
I'm a nightmare on with anesthesia. Not terrible, right? Not, it's just a really uncomfortable for me. So I don't know, really weird thoughts.
Yes, Sheena's saying location, location, location. Back of the arm made me so sick. Stomach is way better. Yeah, some people are like that. Gorman, same thing. He had no appetite suppression on the back of the arm. Stomach is winner. Yeah, so I think if you're like, I'm not really having good appetite control, it's worth maybe moving or experimenting. But if you are, I would not mess with it unless you really want to see.
Change the location, right? Don't inject it in
Yes.
the same location every time. But
But even then, I don't think, I mean,
I
same
think
location, not
I
so
think it
much.
confuses people when they say change your location.
Yes.
People are thinking, oh, arm, thigh. No, just don't inject in the same spot all the time.
The same belly spot over
Like
and over and
same,
over again.
like
Just move it around. Even though diabetics are shooting themselves 4 to 6 times a day, every day of the week, they're hitting the same spot here and there.
right? Agreed.
Ronnie, I like the energy because I was so low on energy when I first started. Okay for long term or not? I don't see them being a problem for long term. If it's mixed with B12, I think you should have your levels checked after a little bit of time because they can get pretty high on those medications. And if you have B12 levels that are high for a long period of time, you can actually end up with like permanent paresthesias that never go away. And then you have to specifically avoid things with lots of B vitamins in them. So definitely have your levels checked if you're on them. Especially after like two vials or like 2 rounds of it to kind of see where they're at. And if you are having your levels checked, like take that shot and wait at least a week before you have your levels done, if not 2 weeks, so you don't have some artificially high level and then need to be taken off the medicine. Typically, the B12 will peak in about 3 days, but you don't want it too high because I've seen some pretty high levels because they got their shot. They took their shot that day when had labs.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Um, Gorman, you crack me up. I got plenty of fat stomach. Don't think I run out of locations. Yes, my husband has to use his thigh. I'm over it.
Oh, Kelly, are there any new obesity drugs on the horizon? Oh my goodness. There's
So
a
many.
there's more dual agonists coming. There's a triple agonist coming. There's more oral versions of the dual agonist, which I'm super excited about. We learned last week, I can't remember the company. There's one that they're talking about like a 6-month implant for GLP-1s.
That makes me nervous.
But I think if you're at a stable dose, I mean, their rationale is 69% of people or something like that forget to take their medicines because of the forgetfulness. No one is forgetting to take these medicines.
Nope.
They're just not. I'm hungry, so they're
I'm
remembering to
like
take their medicine. They're
Jones
looking
in for
forward
shot
to it.
day, man.
Or they just spent $1,000 on these things. They are not forgetting to take this. That's just not happening. Stop that. But yes, if it's cheaper in the long run to just do an implant, it works really well and you're at a stable dose.
Now,
Fantastic.
so where else it would be a really good thing if you have a narcotic addict, or because these are so helpful with addiction and the dopamine reward cycle, that if you have a narcotic addict, imagine you get them in a program where they get a 6-month implant,
Yeah.
freaking save their life. Oh my God, can you imagine? Okay, sorry, I get excited.
No, I'm excited for all that
Think
stuff.
about that. Oh, I shouldn't talk about that. That's what gets me kicked off of TikTok. But um,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, don't go helping people again.
I know. We
Get in
said,
trouble.
yeah, we actually, I got in trouble because we were telling people not to do things that were bad for you. Anyway, a triple agonist. So it depends. Some of them, I'm not, like the last I really looked at these was February. So um my literally the talk that I just submitted, because I've had it done for a little bit, is out of date already. Can you believe that? Like, I'm like, oh my God. And I realized this when I submitted, I was like, oh crap. It's like 2 months ago I looked at this stuff and I'm out of date because I have like orforglipron, or I can't, you know what that word is.
Or
Orfor,
Forlaplan. Yeah.
I'll take the marbles out of my mouth and then I'll try to pronounce it. Carasema, I don't have in there. What's the other one by the, oh shoot, there's a lot. But triple agonist though, the main one coming down the pike is retatrutide, the oldest one. So that's GLP-1, GIP, and a glucagon receptor. And with this amount of nausea, I'm like, that mother comes out, we might need to be able, like, I might be able to do like 2 milligrams because I would go from tirzepatide to retatrutide, right? Because what if I can, I don't know, drop it down or whatever. But then again, why do I want to drop it down? Where are the cardiovascular benefits? Where are the metabolic benefits? We don't know.
But
So
would you, let's say like, you're gonna stay on a compound and the compound price just crushes. Like it's, because everyone wants the compounded retatrutide or real retatrutide.
oh, then it comes down to like $100 a month for
You just stay
tirzepatide.
on
Hang on,
tirzepatide. Like
right?
it's working for you. Like, do you need that third receptor? You lost your, you know what I mean? Because you're at your goal weight. It's kind
I'm
of
at
doing
my
its
goal.
thing. Yeah.
Kind of, sort of. I'm
Sort of,
still,
you know what I mean?
yeah, no, I'm about 3 pounds heavy still, 2 to 3 pounds heavy. But it's like, so when you get to that bottom part, you really got to inch that down. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. Kelly said I was on Manjaro for a year, loved it, but didn't lose a lot. How much is not a lot? I'm just curious because again, we get real skewed on this. Insurance change, new insurance won't cover. Yeah, my insurance never covered it. I pay for compound.
See you in a couple hours, Linda.
It's by Linda. Linda's one of our patients. So we have a Wednesday night thing. You know what I mean? God, my brain is like, 10 pounds in a year. We could have done better.
I think
That's me being
so. Yeah, maybe you
compound.
just think, it's only 3 months. Maybe we just didn't get to your level that you needed.
Yep. Tried 3 months on compound and gained. Now, some people, when they go to compound, are ready to move up, and it just happens to be at the same time, and they don't move up. And we think it should be the same. But like I was on 2.5 for over 3 months, minus that 1 week in there where I thought I was gonna die on 5. And then when I moved up, it was time. And so, and I'll flip flop between, I still got like 3 or 4 Manjaro pens in there. And I'll move up, I'll flip flop back and forth and go back and forth between compound. I was not insulin resistant. I had labs. My labs told me that I was just fat, which was, yeah, my HDL was lower-ish. My LDL was high, still is. It's not quite down yet. It is moving down, but it is taking a long time. So is my diet though. I didn't want to even address my diet quality for 8 months because I had spent so many years dieting and I was so done. So there's a lot to unpack with all this stuff. But I think we
I
could have
was
done.
asking, best injection site statistically proven to have the best results. I don't think there's, in the studies, I think they all did the stomach.
I don't know.
I can't remember. It's been so long since I read it.
I
It's
just know that,
honestly,
yeah.
whichever one works best for you. I would experiment and try different ones. And for the most part, the abdomen works for most people pretty well. So yeah, back of the arm, top of the thigh, belly, give them a try.
Let's see. This is pretty funny. This study's from 2021. Not even the step trials or anything. This is really interesting. Give me 1 second. Oh, they were doing pain. Never mind. I'm not even gonna look it up. But look for you. I think that's better. Most people do stomach. It's the easiest to do, and some people say less painful than the thigh. I've never tried the thigh. It's the only place my husband's got fat left, so it's what he does. Still grumpy about that. It's all good. All right. So MBAD RN MS. Hey, welcome. Was on TERS 7.5 for 3 months, worked well, just found N brand times 3 months from Revive Houston. Yeah, I think we tried to get in with Revive and tried to get some information on them and got ghosted, so they didn't go any farther.
Yeah, depending on the time, some of them were just so busy they would not take anybody else on, period.
Yeah.
And then there's some just won't do accounts with people. And the reason that we like to have accounts is one, we could vet them so we kind of know what kind of product they're providing, have good communication with the pharmacy. And some of them we get a way better price if we pay for it up front and then they ship it to you. I think one of them is almost double if we just send a script in and you go pay for it. It's double, and that's just crazy. And they're already kind of expensive.
So Henry Meds is not a pharmacy, I don't believe. Henry Meds is the medical provider, and then they go through the back end pharmacies. Technically, you should know, or at least get a choice of pharmacies. But that is not my concern for other practices. We just do what we're told by our legal team. Um, but they may have their own pharmacy. I don't know. Henry Meds works with a third-party compounding pharmacy to process your prescription. So yeah, I don't know.
Isn't Henry Mez the one that we saw on TikTok, or not TikTok, on Instagram with build your practice. Here's
Mhm.
350 people.
Yep. It was a Henry Meds model. And I'm like, what
Yeah.
is that? Because that makes it sound super sketch. So I don't even know what the Henry Meds model is. So if
So it might
anyone,
have nothing to do with them.
yes, hey Dee Dee. Manjaro since 8/22. Yes, I've lost 104. Yes.
Nice.
You do have 9 months of back stock. Yeah, I had the Fortnite lunchbox. The Fortnite lunchbox is about to go away. What a bummer.
Dee Dee, don't say that on Reddit because they will come to your house and rob you. They hate people who have backstock, and it's so mad.
Yeah, we'll just let that go.
I will. I don't care. Great for you. I'm happy for you.
Well, the thing is, you paid for it.
You did. And you got on the bus early, and
And you made a good decision for your health. That's the deal. You would never know. I know, right? You value your life. But that's the thing. For those of us who committed to this lifestyle change, I may or may not have 3 months of backpack. I'm telling you, it's a Fortnite lunchbox. Um, when you commit to this life and you commit long term, Dee, that makes me so happy. When you commit to this life long term, you are investing in your health. However you paid for it, whatever, if you choose to go with Henry Meds, good on you. I don't care, whatever. We're still going to offer you help here. We don't really judge. We saw this advertisement that said something about the Henry Meds model. And I was like, that makes them sound, and I wonder if Henry Meds actually even knows that they did this because it makes Henry Meds sound like a total ick. Yeah, I don't know. But a lot of people, so a lot of the clinics online, they don't give a lot of this because they don't have the ability to do so or don't have the desire to do so because you kind of don't have to, right? Everyone wants these drugs. You pop on, you give them, people are happy. It's just not how we roll. So, yeah, I love that, Dakota. Exactly. You don't do that with a magic pill, right? You do that with dedication and consistency, right? Like that patient we were talking about that Neil was saying, he just gave up, right? And again, and then when I was talking about, people give up. It's just not the right time. And when I look back and this person started in September of 2022 and didn't stay on, wanted to get back on later. And he's like, what do you mean it's $550? I'm like, yeah, you lost about $6,000 worth of benefits from the manufacturer by not staying on the meds. So then he doesn't stay on the meds because it's expensive. I'm like, we had a solution to that problem. And he's still not ready. He's still not ready. I can't, it's almost like the healthcare providers, which I actually, I did a video about that today. Because we open it up to healthcare professionals because the reason is it's not just providers who need help. It's healthcare professionals. I do not want to knock nurses out. Nurses are the real reason I did this. But nurses, paramedics, athletic trainers, I don't want to knock them out because they have so much to give. Physical therapists, right? There are people who don't have a provider status who want to do something in this space. Yep, we can help them because I want the people who need us. It's not just providers. That was the wrong target. It's the target of people who are ready. People who are ready to help people in this space, other spaces. Hey, I really have this passion for this. You know what? Yeah, we can show you how to do it. So Dakota, been on since 9/2023, lost 55 pounds, still going. It doesn't happen overnight. Nope. It's a long process. I mean, think about this stupid 8 pounds. It is taking me, I don't know, a long time. Long time. It was stuck there for 3 months and now it's finally whittling its way down. Half my clothes don't fit. all good. But I'm not as comfortable. I mean, that's the thing. I can buy bigger clothes, but it's okay. It's just I'm not as comfortable. I don't like the behaviors that make me feel uncomfortable in my brain and my skin. It's not about the fat. All right, what do we got? Anyone have any questions? Yeah, we got like 10 minutes left. This time of day isn't as good for engagement. Sorry. It's all my fault.
No, it's supposed to be what, Sunday morning, something like that.
Oh God,
Sunday
yeah.
late
I don't know. I
morning.
can't do it on a Sunday. I don't know. Maybe I can. Uh,
I D's D. I'm not saying it. Denied my
thank you. That's
insurance.
a chamois cream. It's a chamois cream called D's Nuts. I use it on the bike. Thank you very much.
Denied my insurance twice by my doc. Twice my doctor sent Olympic prescription to compound pharmacy. Your thoughts? If you're comfortable using a compounded medication, absolutely go for it. We prescribe lots of compound medicine. We believe in compound medicine, use compound medicine, feel very safe and comfortable using it. Our pharmacies we vetted, feel comfortable using them for sterility, potency. Can't control their backdoor policies, but
Yeah, right.
we trust our pharmacies we're
I was
using.
gonna say it still has nothing to do with the sterility or potency of their medications. It just has to do with their financial things.
Or selling drugs out of the back.
Yeah. And we're almost done with that one financial
Oh,
thing.
Gorman's asking, what were the providers for Kentucky? Maribel and Hamilton.
And you got it. Just add telehealth to the end and .com.
Yep.
That was great. Idaho. We do not serve Idaho. I don't know if Maribel does. Pomegranate does.
Yep.
And definitely, I shouldn't say definitely because I think Idaho's a video visit state, so Nikki's taking a break. So I would go to Pomegranate.
Yep. Jackson, you still there, buddy?
I know Jackson's probably like, dude, you guys don't shut up. And thank you very much, Kelly. She said, I recognize the importance of using specialists like you. We appreciate it. I was on the news again,
Oh,
by the way. Yes, I was on the news again yesterday.
where at? Here?
Same, Southwest Florida. Nope. I'm now a recurrent. I'm one of their go-tos for their medical advisors. And guess what? I was so excited when I watched it yesterday. It was everything I've worked for 30 years. It was because the question was, you know, these ACV and keto gummies, do they work? Right. And I pretty much was like, no, sorry. But it was literally like, yes. And they did talk about Ozempic because of course it's only one word ever. And they mentioned it, but I talked about, no, this doesn't work. This does. And I talked about our pillars and I talked about putting deposits in the bank. And I was like, finally, like we can get the message out there. 30 years of work. I'm so excited. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So Southwest Florida, ABC, Southwest Florida 7. And if you count my turtle interview, that's the 3rd time I've been on that channel.
Kelly's asking, how does your program work? A year on my Monjuro with my NP, 3 months on compound. So if I can't remember if you're one of our states. If you're one of our states, you basically just go to
Kelly's in
amstelehealth.com.
Ocala. Kelly's in Florida.
Florida. Okay. Yeah. amstelehealth.com. Click become a patient, fill out the paperwork. My staff will start a chart for you, put you on a list, and one of the NPs, me or one of the other ones, will message you and get things started. And then our fee is $89 a month for our medical care, and then plus the cost of prescriptions. Depending on your dose, we start at $150 a month for semaglutide, depending on the state, and around $200 for tirzepatide. It is unlimited texting, urgent care concerns, all our education. So it's more than just here's your meds, don't talk to us anymore until you need meds and you want to pay us again. That's the wrong model for us. Gabby, which dose is proven to have better results? I've been on 7.5 for 6 months and scared to move up too fast. Whatever dose is effective for you is the best dose for you. Some people it's 2.5, some people it's 15. It's wherever you have good appetite control with minimal side effects is where I'd say is your best dose. If you are at 7.5 for 6 months, you don't have appetite control all week long. You have it for like 2, 3 days or not at all. You have no side effects. I would probably have you move up in dose. It is still possible after 6 months on this dose, you go up to 10 and you start to have side effects. It's impossible to tell. It's really weird how it works. Like I've had patients never had a side effect or anything, kind of finally bump up a dose and bow, bad side effects. But most of the time they're manageable with either medication or just kind of moving like what you're eating and when you're eating, like in the timing of food.
While you got that open, Neil, I just actually got a text message. Texas, 15 milligram tirzepatide. What's our cheapest? You said 440?
I think it's 440 for Texas.
Okay.
For the 60 milligrams or so. Yeah. Link.
All right. Cool. Thanks.
Subi honey, been on Weight Watchers 2 years, then started the shot on January. Now I can't find it. I'm in Michigan. Insurance covers. Ugh. So a lot of patients who can't find it are switching to compound for a short period of time until their dose becomes available. And then, as soon as they can get it again, they stop the compound and go right back to brand name. So that is an option. And we are in Michigan, Subi honey, if you would like to come visit us. If you don't have somebody who will prescribe you compounded up north there. Native women, can you say what pharmacy you use? I'm in Idaho. We don't do Idaho, but we have, I think, 7 pharmacies: Empower, Axtel, Link, Drug Crafters, Southlake, Compounding Pharmacy America, and Cypress, and then Hollandale, I think. It's just not listed yet.
Yeah. And I don't know what the I don't know what the semaglutide prices are for Hollandale. Let me see.
I know. And I think I just did them with Umbi.
I did
Like
too.
yesterday,
I
she
did
messaged
too.
me. She's like, what should we do? I'm like, oh, let's do this, honey.
I
And
know.
I did them, but I don't remember them. I just
Okay,
kind of,
I got it. So Hollandale is not in Florida. So, oh no, they are in
okay.
Florida. Jesus, never mind. Hold on. Pause. Let me go
It's
back.
an F and an L.
It's not Miami.
It's not Miami.
Not Miami. No, they're in Miami. Both Miamis. So, semaglutide goes from 160 to 360. And then tirzepatide is 210 to 590. So it's but that's not your best price for tirzepatide. So yeah.
All right. So native woman, I just started tirzepatide, taking my 5th shot tomorrow. I've only lost 4 pounds. No, you've lost 4 pounds, not only.
There's
But
no only
still,
about that.
I mean, because that's 4 weeks. You're about to take your 5th shot. So that's 4 weeks. That's a pound a week. I'm still excited about that. And you're going in the right direction. It's just, if your appetite's not suppressed, you need a little bit more appetite control and probably a higher dose. If it is well suppressed, we just need to focus on protein, get your fluids in, get some movement, and see how the next month goes. And that you were answering Sierra B12 prices for Florida.
I was, but then I lost it.
Okay. Yeah, she's on 50 units. So that could be, unfortunately, that could be 0.25 milligrams, like the lowest dose on some of the pharmacies we've used in the past. 50 units could be 2.5 milligrams, like really needing to kind of know the concentration or the actual milligrammage. Guess who got a call right after I asked about Kentucky telehealth providers? So sorry.
Gorman, you nailed it. It's maribeltelehealth.com or hamiltontelehealth.com. If either one of those can't get you in, which they should, Pomegranate is also good. So I pay $400 for 6 shots of 2.5. Okay, now we're gonna make us math. That's all, Neil.
That's 15 milligrams. That's pretty good. That's a great price.
Yeah, that's a good price.
Yeah.
So wait.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, no, wait. 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 15 milligrams of tirzepatide.
Oh, it's tirzepatide? Okay.
I would assume for 2.5. Yeah. So 6 shots of 2.5 of tirzepatide, which means 15 milligrams total. How much would it cost for 15 milligrams total of tirzepatide? That's expensive.
15 milligrams tirzepatide is like, let's say 20 milligrams tirzepatide at Link is 270. If that's what it's tirzepatide, it's better.
Yeah. So even with our $89 fee, the 270, you'd still save at least $50 because you get extra 2 doses extra.
Can temp change during delivery of compounded affect the medication? So most of the ones that we've talked to have tested these by leaving them out in like room temperature for extended period of time with no effect on potency or sterility. So, and they've tested them way longer than they say. As long as they tell us, as long as the medication has not gotten hot, like it's just kind of room temperature, it's still good to go. Tracy Bot. Yes, you get to choose your pharmacy with us. You know, if you want to choose the more expensive one because they have NAD in it or L-carnitine or their name sounds cool, that's fine.
Yeah, that's a great question, MJ. Are refills automatically sent through your program? They are not, because we do not know what your dose is going to be, what's going to happen. You know, we always, not to mention, this is medical care, so we really need to check in once a month. I know, like your regular doctor, if you're on lisinopril for high blood pressure, they don't, you know, we can do 6 months at a time. These drugs are a lot more nuanced because, like I said, for me, I should have done a lower dose this week. If I would have actually talked to my provider, Neil. No, it was just because it's really just this week, but yeah, we need to talk to you more often so we don't do automatic refills. Now we can do automatic billing for the medical part, but you need to check in because every time we order, every month we order, because the FDA makes us order once a month, right? With these compounded pokes into the bottle. We don't. That the short version is no, we don't do automated refills. It's a very quick process though. If there's no, like, so if there's no change, you're like, hey, it's me, I need the 5 milligrams again. The provider looks at it, confirms it, and you don't even really need to talk to anybody. With us, we do all asynchronous, so it's all by your phone. And we're almost to the point where our patient interfacing app is up and running. So you'll literally poke through the app and give us a, hey, I need a refill. Boom, boom, boom. Here's my answers to these questions. Boom, done. So it's a quick process. Or, oh my God, this is too high. I got to go back down. All right, let's have a provider step in. And, you know, the providers always review everything, but, you know, sometimes it takes a little, sometimes it takes a lot. We don't do any cookie cutter care at all, which makes it kind of pain in the ass for everyone, but sorry.
Tracy Bot, if I have lost too much weight but not at my goal weight, can y'all still prescribe?
What do you mean too much?
Yeah.
Depends. What do you mean by too much? Who told you your goal weight? First of all, we'll discuss that. Neil and I are both new. Well, so we're not coming. We're emergency trained classically in medicine because, you know, we have fun poking holes in people. When the time comes. But no, we like it, you know, we like that sort of thing. So that's how we are classically trained, but we both have a background and a lifelong passion for nutrition. So no longer overweight. Now, if you want to get to 110, our question is why? What BMI would, and let's not get into the BMI thing. We only got like 30 seconds left. So, but if you want to get to 110, we need to know how tall you are. We need to know why, because that we need to know a lot more. We can't just say, yeah, that's great. But, you know, we're not, it depends. But like for me, my weight is 121 pounds. I am most comfortable at 118, 116, 118 is where I'm most, 117, 118 is really where I'm comfortable. 411, I'm short. Yeah. Okay, great. So 110 is not, yeah. So like my BMI weight is like 111 to 146. 146, I am a busted can of biscuits, right? Straight up. 110, I don't feel good at all. I feel depleted. I don't know. I haven't been a 110. I don't even know if the 6th grade. I don't know, probably. And I'm 50. So anyhow, long story longer, we know where you're most comfortable. That's something we would talk about. And yes, we will prescribe especially if you've got a ton of food noise like me and you're like, God, this is where I feel the best. I lift, I do this, I get 100. So I get 100 grams of protein, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'll be quiet now because we got to go and we got to answer this tirzepatide. And we absolutely prescribe to maintain 100%. Yes.
Yeah. So the 12, let's call it like 12 and a half milligrams, what's like 40, 48 for the month. So like 45 milligrams is 400. So it's approximately, you know, that, or if you go 60 milligrams for 5 weeks, it would be like 500 to kind of depending on, it all depends on your state.
Yep. For sure.
So it's around 400 to 500, depending on how, like 4 to 5 weeks. But yeah, if you want to be our patient, go to amstelehealth.com and we can talk about pricing. And if you're in one of our states, if not, you know, we can refer you off to someone else who we trust.
And thank you, Nana. She said, Dr. Marina, I love your honesty. Yeah. My honesty gets me in trouble sometimes on TikTok. but we're working on it. I'm working on being politically correct because I was inadvertently not. And I would never like badmouth someone. It was more like my decisions were stupid. Oh, that's the word. That's one of the words I can't say.
Stupid.
Yes.
Oh,
I
wow.
got in
Well,
trouble for that.
they can block us right now because we're getting off.
I know, right? My decisions were not well thought out and bad. Um, yeah. Oh. Okay, so yes, we do need to go. Yes, we can do HSA or FSA, but we do need to go because in 2 hours our patient live starts. And oh dear God, it is a long day. I gotta go see my kid. Yeah,
Right.
Gordon, come back next time. Everyone come back next time or go to amspublicgroup.com. That'll get you to our public group to chat anytime. That's where to find us. And next week we will be back on at Tuesday 1 p.m. Central.
And if
So
you guys all go and give me a follow right now, you'll probably be able to see me next week because I'm getting very close to that magic number.
so close, so close. All right. Oh, wait,
I got,
500, they can hear you.
yeah.
1,000, they can see you.
Hey, I'll
So
take hearing for now.
we're climbing, right? We're climbing. All right. All right, guys, we will see you next time. I'm going to end on TikTok. And then we will end on the tube.